Number 14, Constantine Razumnov.
Who I swear to God is like a bad guy in Castlevania.
Or a composer or something.
Yeah.
Didn't Bond fight him at one point?
All right.
Shall we do this, gentlemen?
Let's do this.
Let's do it. Trey took my joke.
Mouse on the play button. 3, 2, 1, unpause.
You have to be faster than that, Mr.
This
Bond.
is our another one of our international entries. This one's from Russia.
Yeah.
This is a handsome entry. I think it's great looking,
it's
and the location, especially the one at the end, awesome.
And I wonder if this is the Soviet equivalent of, oh, you didn't go to those ruins again, did you? Oh my God, I'm so sick of seeing those. Everyone shoots at those ruins.
You didn't go.
Why?
You didn't go to the Stalin Railroad.
Exactly,
Did you?
it's their cliche.
Really quick. This isn't going to affect my voting, but I really like the costume design on this. I really like how the costumes look. I like and both performers sell it well, but the costumes I really like for some reason. With that said, this one really intrigues me on a lot of ways. This one has a magic bean to it with this time travel device that's going to kind of take him across. I really like how this one plays out.
Do you think it's time travel? I always read it as teleportation.
I'm sorry, teleportation. You're right, teleportation. I got my semantics involved. Now, the choreography kind of starts a little rough there because they're doing basically, 2 lower quadrant hits repeated after a while. But, we start to warm up here, and both guys are, you can tell how both have like some stage combat experience because they have a real grace to their movements, which I like a lot.
And they're not afraid to, like we just saw, they're not afraid to do a nice solid tumble and stuff like that, which
they take bumps.
Which helps sell. Obviously I don't necessarily think the choreography is the best. It's fairly straightforward, like you said, stage combat type of stuff. But in terms of selling that fairly basic choreography, they certainly do the best job.
That's what I was going to say. It's all about selling, and these guys really do it. I mean, later, especially toward the end when they're in that small grassy area, and there's some literal left, right, up, down type of stuff.
Yeah.
But it's so smooth, and they're so into it, and they're so committed to it, and it's wham, 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 and it worked. I mean, they're really making that work, and I think it's a great example of how the energy and the performance that you put into it can make even the super most cliched of all choreography work.
And I very much appreciate the color palette change as he jumps through the portal because I really like that because that actually helps sell the idea of it.
Yeah.
And that's, again, not a choreography note, but just a general filmmaking note. The portal, I got to say, I'm not a VFX guru like a lot of these other guys are, but I like the portal. I like the way it looks. I don't know. It dissolved out. It's just a basic 10-frame fade out, but and they're squared up here, but they don't stay that way for too long. And this one has a style kind of unto itself that I appreciate. I like this really sort of depressing abandoned hotel that they're in. I got to say, for folks in Russia, if you're out there and you're listening, make more fan films because this is pretty.
This is actually the Ukraine.
I thought you were going to say don't jump.
Ukraine, yeah, former Soviet Union.
Don't jump.
Yeah.
Well, you said it was a depressing abandoned hotel.
Yeah, don't kill yourselves.
And that's when they respond and they go, no, that's my house. That's my answer.
That's Uncle Dimitri's
estate.
Yeah.
He's very rich. Yeah, no, there's something to be said for like just that this clearly is just some locations that we're just not used to seeing automatically makes it more interesting to look at. Like, oh, where is that? That's really cool. What is that?
I do like the wrist grab sequence. The traditional jiu-jitsu styles were created back in the day by samurais on what to do if somebody grabs their sword. Because, I mean, if somebody grabs your wrist, you need to be able to lock them up pretty quickly so you can kill them with a saber. So I like the idea of when they do progress to a hand-to-hand sequence, it's all about controlling the blade hand. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate their use of space, and their range and their timing is very good. There's a couple anticipated shots, but and this segment here I like a lot too, actually.
It's great energy.
Yeah, really good energy.
It's very flashy. Like there's a lot of like they're both doing spins and things like that. That like if you really break it down, look at it, you're like, well they technically shouldn't be doing that for no real reason, but they pull it off because they're both just doing it so quickly and in such a committed fashion that it plays really well.
Yeah.
You guys were talking about this last night when we were reviewing them one last time before the show, and I want to understand this a little bit better, and I want everyone else to as well. You make a distinction for this one in terms of the fighting. Now, I watch this and I see good-looking, fast, well-rehearsed fights, but you guys find some sort of a distinction between the quality of choreography between this and, say, Whiteley's entry. What's the nature of the difference?
This is much again. If you compare this to say the first one where we were talking about how fairly simple the choreography is, the choreography. If you had two people just step through it, this one is almost identical to that one. It's just that the energy in this one and the way they sell it, the follow through and their level of comfort with their own bodies.
It's very swashbuckling.
Is very different. They are much better at selling the moves, but the choreography itself is still very simple.
It's like the difference between writing and acting. The quality of the words on the page can be on a sliding scale, but the entirely different scale is how committed the actors are to whatever. Like you can have a James Cameron movie where the lines are not that great, but somehow he always gets his actors to really commit to it.
Not an Avatar.
Well, in my mind, and I'll just say this: this is in my top 3. And the reason why I say that is because I think this one and Whiteley's actually have the best physical performance.
Sure.
And for me, that does matter because I think you need to have choreography that needs to be physically produced. You have to be able to physically perform the choreography you do. And these guys struck a really good balance with choreography that they can do and that they could physically not just barely do, but really sell and accentuate and bringing the best out of the choreography.
All right.